important to you to unify belts. Can you talk about the historic significance of it?
Well, for me, ever since I was a kid, man, I remember this book I got to show boxing history, some of the old timers, and I probably was somewhere around 10 years old. And I just remember thinking to myself back then that one day I would love to be in a book like this. And, you know, becoming champion is one way of creating a legacy for yourself, but there's always been champions in the sport of boxing. There's been less unified champions, and then there's been a lesser number of undisputed champions. So just understanding the history and the significance of what it means to unify, and then what it means to establish the unification of a weight class. I mean, really, that's my ultimate dreams, my goals, my admirations in the sport of boxing.
What have these last 9 months been like for you? I know you've been waiting for an opportunity to have an event like this coming off the Porter win. How's it been those last 9 months?
Oh, it's been good, you know. I mean, we talked to Al. I let him know what I desired, and he did his best to put it together, and we were able to make it happen. It wasn't able to happen last year, but we were able to make it happen for the first quarter of this year. And it was announced last year, so we were able to get the fans all excited about it. I knew it was coming over the horizon, so I was truly looking forward to this fight. Roughly going into last year, knowing that this fight is finally happening. I have an opportunity to unify these titles and just, you know, keep doing what I'm doing, man, which is living my dream and trying to become the best fighter in the world today.
You've always said you'd fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. You continue to get bigger fights. What's that been like for you to know that, hey, you're getting to the level where you're going to be able to kind of call your own shots here if you keep this up?
Yeah, it does feel good. There's many times where I remember when I wanted to face Robert Guerrero, and it took almost a year before facing Robert Guerrero, and then I even requested for the Porter fight before it truly manifested. But to finally get the fights that mean something to me, and to get 2 fights, tremendous fights back to back, I mean, it just is evidence that I'm on the right track and that we are finally starting to gain what one would call a little bit of political power in the sport of boxing. But for the most part, I'm just happy to get what I want out of the sport, and that's to make these fights happen.
You get these fights, these don't come along every day. Undefeated against undefeated, unification, belt, everything on the line. I mean, looking at this fight, tell us kind of your thoughts going in.
Well, it's perfect, you know. I mean, the scenario, you know, you have to go into the history book to figure out when was the last time 2 undefeated welterweights unified a title, you know. So for me, it's just a pleasure. But at the end of the day, it's just another fight. My job has not changed since I was 7 years old, man. This is boxing. This is the sport that I love. The definition of boxing is to hit and not get hit. And you know me, I'm trying to go in there and deal some damage as well. So I'm truly looking forward to this fight. I mean, I know Danny feels confident coming in this fight. He's going to be trying to challenge me. He believes that he can hurt me. And I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. March 4th, it's going down.
I know you said that you got a couple punchers going in. You don't think it's going to go the distance. Your thoughts on kind of what it's going to take to beat him and what kind of fight we should expect?
I mean, you should expect a world-class fight, man. You know, you got 2 champions. You know, you should see skills on both sides. But, you know, we're going to be pushing each other, testing each other. I see myself as the smarter fighter. I've shown that I can mix it up. I can change up in the middle of a fight. So, you know, it's nowadays with the experience that I have, I try not to have a solid game plan. Try to be more like maneuvering the fact that I have an objective that I want to achieve. If that objective is being shown like I'm trying to bust through a brick wall and it's not happening the way that I want it to happen, then I gotta use something else, gotta do something else. Maybe I shouldn't bust through it. Maybe I should just go around the wall, you know. So I'm always open-minded, man. Ultimately, my heart desires victory at this point, at this stage, and at this level. So I'm looking to do what I do best, which is to be a smart fighter, look for the openings, deal damage, and hopefully if the damage is dealt, I'll be able to capitalize on that and finish the job, which was a little difficult to do against Porter. Something just wasn't there. I don't know if it had to do with the accident that I went through and everything with camp. I felt just a little bit off on that night. So we're trying to mentally be a little bit more prepared to get the man hurt and then get him out of there.
What did you learn the most from that Porter fight? You had to gut that one out. I mean, that was an unbelievable fight. What did you learn the most from that whole experience?
Well, it wasn't really what I got to learn as much as what I got to show. That when you fully challenge me and you make me gut it out, I'm there. I am a champion. And this champion doesn't lie down for nobody. I will not give up. I will always move forward and look towards victory. That fight was a tremendous fight. I know Porter very well. He knows me very well. And we were able to show that we understand each other as fighters. We have for a very long time. So you had a terrific performance in that fight. But my understanding, I knew once when 8 rounds was shut down, I sat down, I said, Keith, I'm pretty sure this is tied. And now that this is tied, 8 rounds are in the past, and guess what? It doesn't matter because no one's winning. The winner will be decided in 4 rounds. Do you remember the amateurs? They were 4-round fights, bro. Welcome back to the amateurs, you know? So honestly, I just had to gut it out, and I had to do what Ben Getty always said: smart fighters win, dumb fighters lose. I had to do what the judges wanted me to do to pull out that victory, and I was able to achieve that on that night. And we look forward to gaining another victory on March 4th.
Keith, in this fight, what's the overlying importance to you? Is it something personal? Is it the fame? Is it the history? There's so much going on in this fight. What's the core thing you'll get out of this?
The core thing is just, honestly, just moving on up. The legacy and separating myself currently from the other welterweights in the welterweight division, considering that every champion is holding on to a singular title. This unification bout, for no matter how you want to debate, because there's so much young, great talent in the welterweight division, but the winner of March 4th will get spotlight priority over the rest of the welterweights in the welterweight division, and they do deserve such. So outside of that though, man, I have a level of confidence nowadays that just says, you did it. There's nothing else to really do. Just keep being you. I'm doing this for my career. I'm doing this for my legacy. But I'm doing this for the fans. Without the fans, I have no career. Without the fans, there is no legacy. You know, so I've been boxing for 21 years of my life. I look forward to having another great 5 up to a maximum of 10 years for you guys in this sport. And I'm just really proud to be living my dream and to be wearing red, white, and blue every single time I step in the ring.
Are you still the same kid that first went into the ring? Are you still as hungry?
Definitely. I love evolving. I even tell myself ultimately, because this is the first fight of the year, that this is almost a warm-up fight. You know, I would love to do what I was unable to do last year, which is to be a little bit more active. You know, so after this fight, I plan on staying in shape, almost rededicating myself to the sport and acknowledging that you are a premier elite athlete and you need to treat your body as such. The fluctuating in weight that I've allowed myself to go through throughout the years, I want to cut that out. It's not that it's not manageable, but it's putting a job on myself that I don't have to bear that weight. I can make my job easier on myself by staying truly dedicated to how I treat my body in and outside of the ring. Every fighter after these tremendous fights, every fighter after all these camps, they deserve to practically eat whatever they want, but you have to know when to get back and have a limit, and that's what we in my camp are planning, is to have make weight the way you're supposed to make weight, and then limit how much you go up, you know. So if I pass a certain weight, if I'm 2-3 pounds over the weight that I want to maintain, then that's a significant sign that, hey man, go run 3-4 miles, man. Just do some road work. Doesn't matter if there's a contract out there or not. Just get on the road work, you know. Boxing, when it comes to boxing, boxing is the easy part. I know boxing. I live boxing. I breathe boxing, you know. But as a fighter, you're not just a fighter. You are an athlete. So I'm here in my prime, 28 years old. I look forward to showing the world what kind of athlete Keith One-Time Thurman truly is, or the potential that I have to perform and put on great performances for the fight fans.
Champ, let me ask you real quick. 21 years you've been training and fighting and warring.